everyone, my name is Jasmine and today I'll be guiding you through a 30-minute core yoga sequence. Be sure to grab any props that you might need for your practice today and take any modifications or breaks that you might need. Beginning here in a comfortable seated position, you can have your eyes open or closed as you bring attention and awareness to the present moment on your mat today. Continuing to lengthen your inhales and your exhales as you reach the crown of your head towards the sky and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Noticing how you feel here right now and maybe setting an intention for your practice today. Place your left hand on the mat here next to you, and we'll reach up overhead with our right hand. Feeling a beautiful stretch here along your right side body. Maybe bringing your gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhaling here to lengthen. Then exhale to sink into this pose just a little bit deeper. Your inhale here will bring you back up to center, and you can place your right hand on the mat next to you. Reach overhead with your left hand as you feel a beautiful stretch along your left side body. Inhale here to lengthen, and then exhale here to sink into this pose. Back up to center. Bring your left hand back down to your mat. Place your hands out in front of you here and begin to slowly walk your hands forward, coming into a nice, easy forward fold. Letting your forearms come down to the mat and relaxing your neck and your head, letting everything else go. Continuing to connect to your breath here. Then slowly inhaling yourself up to a seated position. From here, we'll find ourselves in a tabletop position with your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Exhale to send your hips back towards your heels. And then inhale to pull yourself back up to tabletop. Moving here with your own breath as you begin to warm up your body. Exhaling to send your hips back. And then inhaling to pull your chest forward. On your next inhale, we'll pull yourself back up to your tabletop position. We'll continue from here by doing single leg and arm reaches, balancing here in your tabletop, with the option of only lifting up just your arm. You'll inhale here to reach forward with your left arm and raise your back leg. Feeling a long line of energy here from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Inhaling here to lengthen, and then exhale to ground and find some stability in this pose. An exhale here will bring your elbow to knee, and an inhale to reach. Continue moving here with your own breath. Your next exhale, you'll bring your hand and your knee back down to your mat. Continuing here onto the other side. Inhaling to reach forward with your left arm and then lifting your back leg. Feeling that long line of energy from your fingers to your toes. Inhaling as you reach the crown of your head forwards. An exhale here, we'll bring your elbow to knee. And an inhale to reach. Continue moving here with your own breath. On your next exhale, bring your hand and your knee back down to your mat. From here, you'll tuck your back toes and send your hips up towards the sky. Take a look at your hands and your feet. Are they hip distance apart? Continue to exhale as you send your hips higher towards the sky and your heels closer towards your mat. Maybe taking a moment here to walk it out and find any movement that you need. Your first down dog of the sequence. Notice how you feel. Then an inhale here, you look towards the front of your mat and step or hop your feet towards your hands. Inhale here will bring you to a flat back. And an exhale to fold. An inhale to reach out and reach up. And then an exhale to bring your hands down to your sides. Flowing through Sun Salutation A1, so let's inhale our arms up overhead. And exhale as you fold forward. Moving with your breath here, no rush. Place your hands onto your mat and step back into a plank. Exhale as you lower down halfway all the way. And an inhale to Cobra or Up Dog. Maybe taking a moment here to let your shoulders relax away from your ears and open up your heart. And exhale, you'll send your hips straight up and back into downward facing dog. Taking 2 long, deep breaths here. Inhaling to lengthen. And an exhale to ground. Look towards the front of your mat and we'll inhale as you pull yourself forward into a plank. And exhale, we'll send your hips back up into downward facing dog. Continue moving here with your own breath, pulling yourself forward. And exhaling to send your hips back. Maybe challenging yourself the next time you pull yourself into your plank pose and holding it for a breath. Exhaling to send your hips straight up and back. Taking 2 long, deep breaths here again in downward facing dog. Finding any stillness or movement that you need. From here, let's inhale as we pull ourselves forward back into a plank. We're going to open up our chest towards the right side or the left side. Turn on to the side of your right foot. Maybe reach your arm up overhead. And exhale here, we'll bring your left hand back down to your mat. And your hips back up into downward facing dog. An inhale here will pull you back up into your plank position. This time you'll open up towards the right side, coming onto the edge of your left foot. Maybe reaching your right arm up overhead. And exhale here, we'll bring your right hand back down to your mat. Meeting in down dog here, going through your flow. Exhale as you lower down halfway or all the way. And inhale to Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale as you send your hips straight up and back into downward facing dog. Pushing the front of your mat away from with your hands as you send your hips higher towards the sky. Inhale as you look towards the front of your mat and step or hop your feet towards your hands. An inhale here will bring you to a flat back. And an exhale to fold forward. An inhale here to reach out and up. And an exhale to bring your hands to your sides. Working our way back to down dog from here. Inhale to reach out and up. And an exhale to fold forward. And inhale to plant your hands onto your mat and step back into a plank. Exhale as you lower down halfway or all the way. And an inhale to come into Cobra Up Dog. Exhale as you send your hips straight up and back into Downward Facing Dog. And then inhale your right leg straight up and back. Exhale as you look towards the front of your mat and step your right foot to right thumb. Coming into your Warrior Two position here, turn your back heel in, and inhale to pull yourself up to your Warrior Two. Bending into your front knee here, making sure it doesn't track over your toes. And your back leg straight and strong. From here, let's inhale your arms up overhead. Palms facing each other and energized. Inhale as you continue to reach your fingertips and the crown of your head towards the sky. And exhale, you'll dip over towards the right, using your core to create stability in this pose. An inhale here will bring you back up to center. And an exhale will take you over towards the left. An inhale will pull you up. And an exhale, you'll sink over again. Moving here with your own breath. The next time you're on the right side, exhale and try to hold it for just a couple of moments. Finding some stability and strength. An inhale here will pull you back up to center. And an exhale, you'll find your depth along the left side. Inhale here to lengthen. And an exhale to sink into this pose. An inhale will bring you back up to center. And from here, you'll exhale and you'll straighten your right leg. Coming into pyramid pose from here, you might want to heel toe your back foot in just a little bit, making your stance just a little bit shorter. Let's inhale to bring your arms up to shoulder height. And then exhale as you send your left hip backwards and reach forward with your right fingertip. Once you're at your edge, let that right hand fall down and maybe bring your left hand to your left hip. Continuing to draw your left shoulder back and letting your right hand here come to the ground or anywhere along your leg that's accessible to you. Continuing to find balance in this pose, maybe leaning back and pushing your hips forward to find some balance. And eventually taking your left hand and reaching it right up. Inhaling to lengthen your spine and reach the crown of your head forwards. And then exhale to maybe twist into this pose and ground just a little bit deeper. And inhale here, use your core to pull yourself back up to center. Let's turn your right toes in so they're parallel with your left. And then turn your left toes out so you're coming into Warrior Two position on the other side. Inhale here to lengthen and maybe bring your arms up to shoulder height. And then exhale to sink into your Warrior Two pose. Finding stability and strength along your back leg and making sure your front knee doesn't go over your toes. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to ground. You'll inhale your arms up, bringing your palms energized, facing towards each other. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And inhale as you lengthen. And we'll exhale as we dip over towards the left side. We'll inhale here to pull yourself back up to center. Moving here with your own breath at your own speed. On your next exhale, we'll lean over towards the left side and stay here for a moment, finding some strength and stability with every breath. Inhaling here to Your next inhale here will bring you back up to center. And then exhale, you'll find your edge on your other side. Inhaling here to lengthen, reaching the fingertips and the crown of your head towards the sky. And then exhale to sink just a little bit deeper. An inhale here will bring you back to center. And then an exhale, you'll straighten that front leg and bring your hands down to your hips. You can heel toe your back foot in just a little bit to shorten your stance here for this pose. We'll inhale your arms up to shoulder height. And then exhale as you send your right hip back and reach with your left hand. Once you're here at your edge, you can let your left hand fall to the ground and place it on the ground or anywhere along your leg. Placing your right hand on your right hip and opening up your chest. Drawing your shoulder blades together here. And making sure that you're finding a nice steady balance, maybe pushing your hips just a little bit forward and leaning back just a little bit more. You can bring your arms straight up here. Maybe shift your gaze as well. Inhaling here to reach the crown of your head as you lengthen your spine and energizing through the edges of your fingers towards the sky. An inhale here will bring you back up to center. And an exhale, you'll turn your left toes in. We'll turn to face the front of your mat. Bring both of your feet together from here. Let's inhale our arms up overhead. And then exhale to fold forward. We'll inhale to come to a halfway lift. And then an exhale just to let it go. Moving here with your own breath, inhaling to rise, hands to shins, a flat back, and an exhale to fall. Your next inhale will stay up into a flat back. Bring your hands to your shins, engage and energize your legs. Feet are hip distance apart. And while staying in this position, let's inhale your arms straight out forwards here. Engaging your core and finding balance and stability underneath of your feet. Maybe leaning a little bit more forwards. Keeping this long straight line with your upper body so it's parallel with the ground. And continue to breathe. Drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe finding a point here you can focus on with your gaze. And then exhale just to let it go. And inhale here, you'll reach out and reach up. Continue filling up, inhaling all the way until your fingers are up towards the sky. Maybe bring your gaze up here as well and create a small back bend. Exhale here, we'll bring your hands down to your sides. We'll inhale them back up overhead. And then exhale to a forward fold. Plant your hands onto your mat and step back into a plank. Continue to exhale as you lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale to bring you to Cobra Up Dog. And an exhale to Downward Facing Dog. Taking a moment here, a breath or two, maybe challenging yourself to find some stillness in this pose. From here, let's look towards the front of your mat and begin to shift back into your plank pose. Bringing your chest towards the front. And then let's exhale as we slowly challenging yourself to see how slow you can go until your entire front body is on your mat. Beautiful. Just exhaling and just letting everything else go. From here, push into the mat with your hands and send your hips straight back over your heels into child's pose. Maybe taking a moment here to reach your hands over towards the right. And then also taking a moment to walk them over towards the left. Bringing them back to center. And then in your own time, pushing yourself up to your seated position. Taking your feet out from underneath of you here. And your legs straight out in front of you. We'll come into boat pose from here with a little bit of an added challenge. So you can place your hands behind your seat and bring your soles of your feet to your mat. You'll inhale your legs up so they're parallel with the ground. And then either keeping your hands behind you for some support or bringing them to behind your thighs. Inhaling here to create a nice tall spine and finding some stability in this pose. From here, let's practice drawing one foot towards the ground at a time. Moving here with your own breath. Bringing both of your feet down to the mat if you need. Reaching the crown of your head towards the sky as you lengthen your spine and fire up your core with this pose. On your next exhale, you'll slowly lower your entire body until you're laying on your mat. We'll bring the soles of your feet to your mat about hip distance apart. You might want to windshield wiper your knees back and forth here just to release your hips. And then from here, we'll come into bridge pose. You might be able to touch the backs of your heels with your fingers and your feet will be hip distance apart. You can place your hands next to you on the ground. And then inhale your hips up towards the sky. Drawing your chest towards your chin and finding a comfortable position underneath of your shoulders. Continue to inhale as you send your hips higher towards the sky. Feeling a beautiful stretch along your entire front body here. You can exhale your hips back down. Let's inhale your hips back up again. Maybe this time coming into the pose just a little bit deeper. You can interlace your fingers here and come onto the outer edges of your shoulders. Continuing to breathe and finding your edge in this pose today. Inhaling here to send your hips higher towards the sky. And exhaling to ground. You can release your hands if you've interlaced them and slowly begin to exhale as you bring your hips back towards the ground. From here, let's inhale both of your knees in towards your chest. And then exhale your left leg straight out. Coming into a recline twist from here, we'll gently guide your right knee over towards the left side. You might need to shift your hips over towards the right here a little bit. And place anything under your knee for support that you might need. You can place your arms out into a T here. Maybe bring your gaze over towards the right side. Trying to draw both of your shoulders and keep them evenly on the mat below you. From here, you'll inhale your right knee back in towards your chest. And then exhale it straight out. Inhale your left knee in towards your chest. Continuing to twist on the other side, you'll guide your left knee over towards the ground on the right side. You might need to shift your hips over towards the left just a little bit and place anything underneath of your left knee for support. You can place your hands out to a T, maybe look over towards the left side. Drawing your left shoulder down so it's resting on your mat evenly with your right. From here, you'll inhale your left knee back in towards your chest. Maybe bring your right knee back in for a final big hug. Maybe rock side to side, front to back a little bit. Give yourself a gentle massage. From here, let's send your feet out to your final resting pose, bringing your feet wider than your hips, and bringing complete relaxation to your entire body. Taking one final breath here, completely filling up, and then exhaling just to let it all go before returning back to your natural breathing. Finding a natural curl here in your fingers and a comfortable spot underneath of your shoulders. Just taking a final moment here of stillness with all of your awareness here on your mat before returning back to your day. Recognizing all of the hard work that you've put in for yourself and showing some gratitude. Trying to fight any urges to move or fidget. And then you can start to begin to bring some movement back into your fingers and toes, and maybe reach up overhead. Nice big morning stretch. Before making your way onto one side here and pushing yourself up to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this strengthening core yoga sequence. Be sure to follow and subscribe the Public Myths in Motion channel if you want to see further yoga videos. Thank you so much. See you next time.